What's going on, guys? You're watching 1190 Shellback. I'm Shellback. That's the 1190. Let's talk about it. So today I've got two questions for you. Number one, what is this? What is the Buell Super Cruiser? Is it a superbike or is it a cruiser? I see a lot of people online comparing this to other cruisers, so must be a cruiser, right? I think that's open to debate. I'm not going to debate it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a compilation of YouTube videos from different creators that have all either had a hand in building this, designing it, and or have ridden it and are sharing their experience on this motorcycle. And then you tell me what you think this is. Do you think this is a super bike? Do you think this is a cruiser? Do you think it's somewhere in between? And if you think it's in between, what is it closer to in your opinion? Is it closer to a cruiser or is it closer to a super bike? I have my thoughts and opinions, but I want to hear yours. So number two, we know that they've replaced the suspension. Öhlins is out and Fox is in. Why? Because it's an American-made part. Now, we also found out that they're going to replace that that Buell signature perimeter braking system. And I was kind of bummed about that, to be honest with you, when I first heard it. Why? Because I thought, hey, it's unique to this, to a Buell. Nobody else has it. It's badass. It's from a racing, it's from a racing, lineage, and it's high tech, and I don't want it. But then I found out they're replacing it, and I got to listen into some of those videos. There it is right there. And it makes more sense to have a dual discs system on there. And for me anyway, and the reason why is because of parts availability. Specifically for me, I'm thinking about being, down somewhere. I'm thinking about some roadside situation where I need to get some parts to get back, rolling again. And I don't know, hopefully I'll never have that problem, but I like to be prepared. So that said, I'm gonna roll this compilation for you. Before I do, let me just go ahead and say thank you to the creators that I've borrowed from. I have requested permission to use these. I haven't heard back from everybody, but if anybody has, if you see your clip in here and you don't want it in there, just let me know and I'll edit it out or delete the video. I'm not trying to do this for monetization or anything else other than to talk about this motorcycle. So if you're cool with it, thank you. I appreciate it, and I think you added something positive to this conversation and/or community. So with that said, let's roll.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Buell Super Cruiser behind me. Good to see you. Buell Super Cruiser. This has pretty much an FXR body. Let's not beat around the bush around this thing. What we tried to do with this bike was jam a Buell Super bike and a FXR together, and this is the result. There's a lot of things about this bike, even though it has a silhouette of an FXR and more of a classic cruiser, it is absolutely not a classic cruiser. Number one thing, it's a water-cooled superbike motor out of a Buell. Bike really hits the nail on the head when it comes to what I think people want right now. They want high performance, they want it all. They want everything in one package. I can't think of a bike that's more than everything in one package than this bike.
So here we are a year later with Bill Melvin, CEO of Buell Motorcycles. I just got back from the test ride. As you'll see in that test ride footage in just a minute, I was really happy to know that this is exactly what we all wanted it to be. Bill, you and the team have done an amazing job on these motorcycles. This is what we're all trying to build, and you've built it.
When you're riding it, one, it's got the performance of a superbike, and two, it's got the styling of just a kick-ass cruiser.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill's a performance enthusiast himself. He's not going to build something he doesn't want to ride. That much I know.
Yeah, it's going to have superbike performance and handling.
Yep, there we go.
So zippy. It's so fast. It's definitely one of the fastest bikes I've ever ridden. It's also light. It's lighter than a Sportster. This thing has 175 horsepower. Crazy. We're just ripping the PCH today. Cody's gonna ride it back and we'll get his take on it.
I'm not even joking. This thing's awesome.
Okay, first thoughts.
Revving this thing to 11,000 is insane. It like got more power, torque as it got higher in the FPS, like all the way to redline.
Wow.
It was crazy.
How fast do you think you're going?
I don't know. It was second gear
Second gear.
with 11 grand. It was awesome.
But we love this bike.
It's like if you could ride a crotch rocket without being completely lame. That's what this is, but in a cool platform.
Right.
Because the motor's very much crotch rockety feel.
Right.
You know, just sport bike.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh no, when that sport bike ripped by you, I was like, is that the same?
It's like the same thing, yeah.
I've never really ridden one of those.
The power, I feel like, is kind of the same, but the platform is like way different.
Right.
It's cool.
Okay. Bye.
Today I'll be test riding a super fast motorcycle that is not yet released to the public.
Yeah, you don't want to do 6,000, 7,000 RPM. Not low, you don't want to lug it. It doesn't like the light spark thing. 8,500 with average can want to pull from in the first second to really easy. So now power is very fast on the motor. You want to throttle it, show it.
I just got off the Buell Super Cruiser and this thing is freaking sick. It is so fast, so responsive, and honestly a blast to ride. I would say this bike takes the comfort of a Harley Davidson and the torque and horsepower of a sports bike and puts it all in one bike. It's super comfy to ride and she rips. This thing's fast as boy.
Guys, there's no amount of money that could make an FXR handle like this. This is literally, it's a super bike, but with the standard riding position. Whatever you think it's going to feel like jumping on it, just throw that right out the window. This is a sport bike in disguise as a cruiser.
It's absolutely outstanding. It's basically created a new category, a super bike engine in a cruiser chassis. That's why they call it the super cruiser.
It doesn't feel like a cruiser at all. Guys, I've ridden all the new Harleys. My dad's got a pretty impressive lineup of baggers on the floor right now. We built, $40,000+ FXRs with built motors, and this is as good as it gets. You can never turn an FXR into this. A Dyna can never come close. This is a lightweight, low to the ground super bike in disguise, but it looks like an FXR.
When Junior said it doesn't feel like any of the Harleys we've had, well, it has super bike wheels, super bike brakes, super bike handling, and it's all wrapped up in a cruiser package that looks very similar to the FXR originally did with the triangulated frame. I was still $40 million in development of this engine, and it's top shelf design for super bike racing. So put it in a cruiser package, and it's absolute. It's a whole nother category in performance.
Right.
The fuel tank too has different lines. If you look closely, Bill made this tank a little sexier, and he was also working with the designers on making this frame swoop up a little bit right here. So he's working on it. He wants this thing to be the most sexy super bike in a cruiser package you've ever seen, which would be not only the first, but it's a whole new sets a new standard that the manufacturers are going to have to step up to. And it's made in America by Americans. It's more made in the USA than any other motorcycle made in the United States. Thanks for watching. God bless America.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is something that has been long overdue, and I say that because I have had this in my possession for a little over a month and haven't made a video for you guys, and that's mostly because I've been taking it around to places, let people check it out, and then also enjoying it myself. If I had to describe riding it, it's a sport bike platform but set up as a cruiser. So what I mean by that, you're cruising in third. If you want to drop it down to second and hammer the throttle, you can stand this thing up. It handles amazing in the curves, 475 pounds. This is just an amazing machine.
All right, well, there you have it. What do you think? Buell Super Cruiser. Is it a super bike? Is it a cruiser? Or is it something in between? And if it's in between, again, is it more super bike? Is it more cruiser? What do you think? I'd like to know. Other than that, I want to say thank you to Roland Sands Design. I want to say thank you to, actually it's Axel. I want to say thank you to Sassy Pants. I want to say thank you to Throttle Blip. I want to say thank you to Kaplan Cycles. I know my money's down. I'm waiting for this motorcycle to come out. When it does, I'm going to jump on a plane. I'm flying out to Kaplan Cycles. I'm going to pick my Buell Super Cruiser up and ride it back across the country. And then I'll tell you exactly what I think about it. And I can't wait. Until then, please keep these videos coming. They allow us to learn more about this motorcycle and at least, get some vicarious thrills in the meantime. My prediction for that front brake system replacement is... Listen, I went down a rabbit hole to get this information, so I'm not going to lay it all on the table right here. But, check them out. I think it's going to be Performance Machine. I'll just go ahead and say it for good reason, and I don't think I'm alone in that guesstimate, but we'll see. I'd be disappointed at this point if it wasn't. I'll just say that and leave it alone. So with that said, yeah, until next time, Shellback out.